When the VH1 cameras shut down that night, nobody expected what happened next, but a crew member secretly kept recording. And what Kirk and Jasmine did in those unfiltered minutes has the entire production team panicking. Fans are shocked, Rashida is devastated, and insiders say this leak could destroy everything. The moment the footage begins, you can hear the low hum of the studio lights turning off and the muffled chatter of the cast heading toward their trailers. Most people thought filming had wrapped, but one mic, the one attached to a camera assistance rig, never got switched off. And what it picked up has the entire VH1 team scrambling to contain the fallout. Kirk Frost was the first to step back onto the empty set, rubbing his hands together, pacing in that restless way he always does when he knows he's crossing a line. The crew member hiding behind a lighting panel whispered later that Kirk kept looking over his shoulder, making sure Rashida had already left the building. He wasn't supposed to still be there. His call time was over. His segment was done. But he stayed. For a reason. A few seconds later, Jasmine Washington walked in from the hallway, her heels clicking against the floor as if she had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. The chemistry between them was immediate, undeniable, and painfully familiar to anyone who's watched their messy history unfold over the years. Fans always suspected they still had unfinished business, but nobody expected this level of boldness. "Why'd you text me to come back?" Jasmine's voice echoed across the room, sharp but shaky, as if even she wasn't ready for what was about to unfold. Kirk didn't speak at first. He just stared at her, that same stare Rashida once called his "I'm about to lie" face. Eventually, he sighed and said, "We gotta talk." Without all these people watching. What Jasmine said next made even the crew gasp when they reviewed the leaked audio. "Kirk, don't start something you can't finish again." And that's when the tone of the night shifted. The tension was thick, almost claustrophobic. It wasn't the playful flirting fans accused them of back in the day. This wasn't nostalgia. This was unfinished business, laced with frustration, guilt, temptation, every ingredient for a full-blown love and hip-hop disaster. The camera assistant who leaked the clips said emotions ran so high that the air felt electrified. She even claimed that at one point, Kirk's voice cracked, something fans rarely hear unless the situation is spiraling. "You don't understand," Kirk muttered, dragging his hand across his face. "I'm tired, Jas. Tired of pretending things are fine. Tired of running from everything. Tired of choosing the version of me everyone else wants." Jasmine froze. For a moment, she wasn't the confident, fiery woman viewers see on television. She looked scared, like she knew the next sentence could either break or rebuild the entire Frost family. "Kirk, what are you saying?" Before he could answer, a loud bang echoed from outside, a trailer door slamming. It startled both of them. The crew member who leaked the footage later said he thought it was Rashida returning early. And honestly, even Jasmine looked like she believed that too. That fear snapped something inside her. Her voice turned cold, defensive. "No, Kirk. I'm not doing this again. I'm not being the secret. I'm not sneaking around like some storyline you can edit out when it gets messy." Kirk stepped closer, lowering his voice to a whisper that still got caught on the hot mic. "I never stopped caring about you." And that THAT was the moment that sent the internet spiraling when the leak surfaced. The fans were in chaos. The crew was divided, and VH1 allegedly held an emergency meeting at 2 a.m. to discuss whether the footage could legally even exist. But the night wasn't even close to over, because just then, another unexpected figure walked in. The door creaked open slowly, the kind of slow that tells you the person behind it wasn't supposed to be there. Kirk and Jasmine both jolted, eyes shooting toward the entrance. And when the figure stepped in, even the leaking crew member whispered, "Oh my God." Yeah, to script main Thahai Nahi. It wasn't Rashida, it was Carly Red, and she looked like she had walked straight into a crime scene. She wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the studio that night. Her segment had wrapped hours earlier, and she'd claimed she was leaving for a late dinner in Buckhead. But Carly, being Carly, always smells drama before it happens. And the way she walked in, arms crossed, eyebrow raised, lips pressed tight, told everyone she had heard enough from the hallway to understand exactly what Kirk and Jasmine had been talking about. "So this is what y'all do when the cameras stop rolling," Carly said, her voice dripping with judgment and messy excitement. "This is wild even for y'all." Jasmine stiffened. She wasn't about to let Carly turn the situation into a circus. "Carly, mind your business. This isn't your scene." Carly laughed that dramatic high-pitched laugh she always does when she's about to ruin someone's life. "Honey, this became my business the second I heard Kirk confessing he never stopped caring. That's a whole season finale right there." Kirk groaned, stepping back like he had been caught stealing. "Carly, don't do this. Not tonight." "Oh baby, I'm not doing anything. Carly smirked, pulling out her phone. But it looks like the crew already did. That sentence alone caused both Kirk and Jasmine to freeze. Carly tilted her phone. Just enough for them to see her notification bar filled with messages from a group chat the cast secretly calls Set Survivors. The crew had already leaked screenshots. Someone had already told production. And worst of all, Rashida had been tagged in one of the messages. The blood drained from Kirk's face. Jasmine whispered, "No, no, no, no. This can't be happening." Carly stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Oh, it's happening. And Rashida is already on her way." The panic in the room was instant, thick enough that even the audio picked up the shift. Kirk began pacing, muttering, "This wasn't supposed to go this far. I just needed to talk." I wasn't, but he stopped himself, like even he didn't know what he was trying to justify. Jasmine wasn't panicking for the same reason. Her eyes weren't filled with guilt, they were filled with betrayal. "You texted me to come back because you needed to talk, or because you wanted me to be the villain again. Kirk, tell me the truth for once." He faced her, and for a split second, the room felt like it was shrinking around them. "Jas, I swear, I didn't know Carly would." "I'm not talking about Carly," Jasmine snapped. "I'm talking about you. What did you want from me tonight?" But before Kirk could answer, the heavy studio doors swung wide open with a gust of cold air that made the loose papers on the counter flutter. This time it was Rashida. Her heels clicked like gunshots as she marched in, her face a mix of heartbreak and fury. She didn't look confused. She didn't look surprised. She looked like a woman who was ready for war. Carly's eyes lit up like she had just scored front row seats to chaos. She moved aside but didn't leave. She wanted to witness every second. Rashida didn't even look at Carly. Her eyes were locked on Kirk and Jasmine standing far too close together. "So this is what y'all do when the cameras cut," she whispered, her voice shaking. "This is what's really been happening." Kirk tried to step toward her, but Rashida lifted a hand, and the look she gave him made even Carly shut up for a moment. Don't you dare take a step." Jasmine took a breath, preparing for the explosion she knew was coming, but Rashida turned her glare to her instead. "And you, after everything, after all the lies, after all the pain you caused, why are you even here?" Jasmine refused to break. "Kirk asked me to come back. I didn't just show up." That sentence hit Rashida like a slap. She turned to Kirk. "So you're calling her back to the set now? Behind my back? After everything we talked about, after everything we rebuilt?" Kirk opened his mouth to speak, but for the first time in a long time, he had no words. Rashida's voice cracked. "You told production we were in a better place. You told Emmy we were in a better place." Carly rolled her eyes. "Girl, he told Jasmine he never stopped caring 5 minutes ago." "Carly," Kirk barked, but the damage was done. Rashida stumbled back like she had been physically hit. Tears filled her eyes, but they didn't fall. Not yet. Rashida never cries until she is absolutely pushed to the edge. The leaked audio caught every breath, every shaky inhale. Jasmine whispered, "I didn't ask for this." Rashida cut her off sharply. "But you sure didn't walk away." Jasmine fired back without hesitation. "Because he kept coming back to me." The room went silent. Even Carly froze. Rashida stared at Kirk, jaw clenched. "Is that true?" Kirk panicked, shaking his head quickly. No, she's twisting it." "Oh really?" Jasmine snapped. "You weren't the one texting Maine, the middle of the night. You weren't the one asking to talk off camera. You didn't ask me to keep quiet because you didn't want another Rashida meltdown on set." Rashida's eyes blazed. Carly whispered, "Oh Lord." Kirk shouted, "Stop, Jasmine, don't do that." But Jasmine wasn't holding back anymore. "No, you stop. I'm tired of protecting you. I'm tired of being the one who takes the blame while you get to play the loyal husband." Rashida's voice dropped to a whisper that shook the room. "I wasn't a meltdown. I was your wife." For the first time, Kirk looked like he wanted to cry. "Rashida? Please, let me explain." Rashida shook her head slowly. "Explain what? That you're still in love with Jasmine? That you've been lying to me again? That you never learned your lesson?" Carly, now fully invested, tried to step in like the messy referee she always is. "Okay, wait, before we all lose our minds," but Rashida snapped. "Shut up, Carly." Carly flinched. Damn. The tension was so high that even the production lights seemed to buzz louder. Then something unexpected happened. Jasmine softened. Her voice cracked as she said, "Rashida, I'm not trying to hurt you. I never wanted to be in the middle again. I didn't want this." Rashida's voice trembled. "Then why didn't you walk away?" Jasmine hesitated, and that hesitation was louder than any answer. Because she didn't walk away. Not from Kirk. Not from the chaos. Not from the history. Kirk looked between them. defeated. I'm trying to fix everything. I'm trying to be a better man. Rashida cut him off with a bitter laugh. By sneaking around with your old fling. I wasn't sneaking, Kirk yelled. And that's when the crew member's shaky camera caught something nobody expected. Jasmine whispered, barely audible, "You told me you missed me." Rashida staggered backward. "Oh my God." Kirk lost it. "Jas, why would you say that?" Jasmine threw her hands up. "Because it's the truth." Carly gasped so loudly it echoed. The room was seconds away from a full meltdown when the studio doors opened, AGAIN, and this time, production walked in. Producer Mona Scott Young herself stepped inside, flanked by 2 security guards. She looked furious, tired, and yet somehow excited, the perfect producer combo. "Everybody stop," she said, raising her voice. Everyone froze. Rashida, Kirk, Jasmine, Carly, even the crew stayed still. Mona walked into the center of the room like she was entering a board meeting. "What the hell is going on here?" she demanded. Nobody answered. Mona turned to the nearest camera assistant. "The leak, who recorded it?" Silence. Mona sighed deeply, then looked at the cast. "Fine. If y'all want to air your dirty laundry, at least let me control how it hits TV. But this right here, this is beyond messy. This could ruin families, contracts, and trust. So somebody better start talking." But before anyone could confess, Carly blurted out, "Mona, they've been sneaking around." Jasmine yelled, "Carly, shut up." Kirk shouted, "We weren't sneaking." Rashida whispered, "He told her he missed her." Mona's jaw dropped. "Kirk, tell me that's not true." Kirk dropped his head. And that moment, that exact moment, was when the crew realized this wasn't just drama, this was history. Because what Kirk said next sent the entire cast, crew, and internet into absolute chaos. "I don't know what I feel anymore." The studio exploded. Rashida screamed, "I can't believe you." Before storming out, Carly shouted, "Oh, this is good." Jasmine broke down crying. Kirk chased after Rashida, and Mona yelled at the crew, "Nobody leaves this building until I find out who leaked this damn footage." The leaked mic caught everything, every footstep, every sob, every curse, every slam of a door. And the worst part, the night wasn't over, because Rashida didn't leave the building. She went somewhere nobody expected, straight to Jasmine's dressing room. Rashida didn't go to the parking lot. She didn't grab her bag. She didn't even look at her phone again, even though it was vibrating nonstop with messages from friends, castmates, and fans who had somehow already caught wind that something went down on set. Instead, she marched straight down the dim hallway, past the wardrobe room and the makeup chairs, until she reached the door with Jasmine's name taped on it. The camera assistant who leaked the footage said this part almost didn't get captured. The rig was still rolling, but he'd tucked it against his chest as he followed from a distance, heart pounding. You can hear his footsteps echoing behind hers, and then the recording picks up 3 sharp knocks. Jasmine's voice came from inside, still shaky. "I said I needed a minute." Rashida didn't wait for permission. She twisted the handle and pushed the door open. Jasmine was sitting in front of the vanity mirror, mascara streaking down her cheeks, tissues scattered across the counter. She looked small, fragile even, but the second she saw who was standing in the doorway, her back straightened. "Oh," Jasmine said quietly, "it's you." Rashida closed the door behind her with a soft click that somehow sounded louder than any slam. "Yeah," she said, "it's me." For a moment, neither woman spoke. The tension in that tiny room could have powered the entire studio. The leaked audio caught the sound of one of them breathing a little too fast. It's hard to tell who's. Finally, Rashida spoke. "I'm not here to fight you," she said, voice low but firm. "I'm past that part." Jasmine let out a humorless laugh. "You sure? Because the way you looked at me out there, looked like you were ready to throw a drink in my face." "If I wanted to throw something, it wouldn't be a drink," Rashida snapped back without thinking. They both paused. Then, to everyone's surprise, including the fans who later dissected every second of the leak, both women started laughing. Not because it was funny. Because it was insane. Because their lives had become an endless loop of the same man, the same betrayal, the same pain. "This is crazy," Jasmine said, wiping her eyes. "We are literally in a dressing room crying over the same dude." Again, Rashida stepped closer, but kept her distance, like there was an invisible line between them. "Yeah, we are, and I'm tired." Jasmine's voice softened. "Me too." Silence settled again, but this time it was different, tired, heavy, full of unspoken history. "You know what hurts the most?" Rashida said finally. "It's not just what he's doing with you. It's that he looked me in my face and told me we were healing. He told me he was done with all this. I believed him. I defended him. I told fans to stop dragging his name in my comments. He told me the same thing, Jasmine whispered. Except it was about you. Rashida looked up, frowning. What do you mean? Jasmine sighed deeply, as if she'd been carrying this weight for years. He told me you were done with him emotionally, that you were only still with him for the brand, for the businesses, for the show. He said you had checked out, and that he was the one trying to hold the family together. Rashida's jaw tightened. That's a lie. I figured, Jasmine said. But when you've got history with someone, you want to believe they changed. You want to believe they're not the same person who hurt you before. The dressing room felt smaller, like the walls were closing in. You still love him? Rashida asked suddenly, her voice barely above a whisper. Jasmine hesitated, her eyes darting away. I don't know, she admitted. I don't even know what that word means with him anymore. I care about him. I worry about him. I get mad when he lies. I get hurt when he disappears. And when he says he misses me, I still feel something. Rashida closed her eyes for a second, as if that answer physically hurt. The fans think I'm stupid for staying, she said quietly. They comment all types of stuff. Leave him, you deserve better. Once a cheater, always a cheater. They don't see the nights we cried. They don't see the therapy. They don't see the kids asking me, Mom, are you and Dad okay? They just see the scandal. Jasmine swallowed hard. The fans think I'm the homewrecker, the villain, the one who came in and destroyed everything. They don't see the messages he sends me when the cameras are off. They don't see the mixed signals. They don't see him telling me I'm not crazy, that he still feels something too. They just see the girl who slept with a married man. Both women were telling the truth, their truth, at least. And that's what made this leaked moment so powerful. It wasn't just screaming and throwing shade. It was two women standing on opposite sides of the same fire, realizing the smoke had been choking both of them. You know what I realized tonight? Rashida said slowly. We fighting each other, while he's in the middle, telling both of us different stories. Jasmine met her eyes. That's exactly what I've been feeling. Rashida took a deep breath. So let's stop. Jasmine frowned. Stop what? Stop letting him play us against each other, Rashida said. Stop making each other the enemy while he keeps lying. If he wants to be messy, let him stand in it alone. Jasmine stared at her, stunned. Are you saying? I'm saying tonight. For once, Rashida replied, I'm not here as Kirk's wife. I'm here as a woman who is done being embarrassed. The leaked audio picked up something subtle then, the sound of Jasmine's chair squeaking as she turned fully toward Rashida. So, what do you want from me? Jasmine asked. You want me to leave Atlanta? You want me off the show? Rashida shook her head. I want the truth. All of it. Every message. Every late-night call. Every time he reached out. I want to know what he's been doing behind my back. Not just on TV, but in real life. Because if I walk away from this marriage, I'm not walking away with question marks. Jasmine looked at her phone on the vanity, screen still black. You want proof? She asked. Yes, Rashida said, because I know he's been lying to me, but I need to see how deep it goes. Jasmine hesitated. You could practically feel the war going on inside her. On one hand, exposing Kirk completely meant burning whatever was left between them. On the other, she was tired of being the secret, the scapegoat, the storyline. Finally, she picked up her phone. You asked for the truth, she said quietly. I'm about to give it to you. She unlocked the screen, scrolled for a few seconds, then opened a message thread labeled Frost. Rashida's heart dropped. He has an emoji in your name. Jasmine nodded. He put it there himself. The camera assistant's breath hitched on the recording. You can hear it. Jasmine handed the phone to Rashida. I'm not proud of this, she said. But if we're really done letting him control the narrative, then you deserve to see. There was a rustling sound as Rashida took the phone. A long pause. Then, slowly, she began to read out loud. I can't talk right now. She's home. Rashida's voice was small. I miss how simple things used to be. I shouldn't feel this way, but I do. Don't respond. I'll delete this in a second. Her hands started shaking. She scrolled faster, her voice breaking as she read random pieces. I dreamt about you last night. Sometimes I feel like you the only one who really gets me. If things were different. She stopped. Tears finally fell. Jasmine sat there silently, watching the damage unfold. Then, as if the universe decided the moment wasn't chaotic enough, someone else entered the dressing room. The doorknob turned slightly, and the door opened an inch. Mona Scott's voice came through. Rashida, you okay in here? Jasmine quickly wiped her face and stood, but Rashida didn't answer. She was still staring at the phone like it was a weapon. Mona stepped inside and closed the door behind her, her producer face softening when she saw them. Oh, she said quietly. So this is where the real episode is. Rashida let out a broken laugh. You got your storyline, Mona. Congratulations. This isn't about a storyline right now, Mona replied, and for once, she sounded less like a producer and more like a person. I just got off the phone with the network. That leak has already hit 3 blogs. Screenshots, audio snippets. Fans are going crazy. They're already picking sides. Frost family trending. Jasmine trending. You're trending. This is bigger than just an episode now. Jasmine's eyes widened. Already, we're still on set. That's what happens when people can't keep their phones in their pockets, Mona said, annoyed. We're trying to track down who leaked the original clip, but right now, that's not even the main issue. She looked straight at Rashida. The issue is, what do you want to do? Rashida blinked. What do you mean? I mean, Mona said, choosing her words carefully. Do you want this to be the story we tell? Or the story that tells you? Rashida frowned, confused. I don't get it. Mona stepped closer. Right now, the internet is writing your narrative. They're taking pieces of this leak and running wild. You can either let them drag you, call you weak, call you dumb, say you're staying with a man who disrespects you, or you can stand up and speak for yourself, on camera, on your terms. Jasmine shifted uncomfortably. So you want to roll cameras? On this, Mona shook her head. I don't want to exploit you, but I'm not going to lie. The network will air something. That's how this works. The question is whether it's going to be a sloppy, half-true mess that makes you look crazy, or a raw conversation where you control the message. Rashida looked at Jasmine, then back at Mona. What about him? She asked. What about Kirk? Mona exhaled. He's in his dressing room right now, losing his mind. He knows something leaked. He knows you saw something. He doesn't know how much. He's asking if we can spin it. If we can cut around it. Rashida scoffed. Of course he is. Mona continued. The network is asking me one question. Is the Frost family still a united front? Or is this the beginning of the end? They want to know which story they're preparing for. The room went quiet. Jasmine spoke up softly. And what do you want, Mona? Mona looked between them. I want the truth. I'm tired of band-aiding bullet wounds for TV. I want you to say how you really feel, even if it's ugly. Fans are not stupid. They can sense when y'all are faking it for the cameras. What's happening right now. This is the realest I've seen you two in years. Rashida swallowed hard. So what are you saying? She asked. You want to set up a scene and have us drag each other? No, Mona replied. I want to set up a scene and have you drag him. That caught both women off guard. What? Jasmine blinked. Mona folded her arms. You two have been fighting each other for years. The fans are tired. Y'all are tired. Honestly, I'm tired. Tonight proved something. He's the one who keeps playing both sides. He's the one who keeps reopening the wound. If there's gonna be a reckoning, it should be focused where it belongs. Rashida and Jasmine exchanged a long, heavy look. And what if I walk? Rashida asked quietly. What if I'm done with filming? Done with all of it? Mona nodded slowly. Then we document that too, because that's real. And if that's the decision you make, I will support it as a woman, even if it gives the network a heart attack as a producer. Jasmine bit her lip. And me, where does that leave me? Mona sighed. That depends. Are you ready to stop being the secret, or are you still trying to protect him? Jasmine's shoulders slumped. I don't want to protect him anymore, but I don't want to be painted as some evil villain either. I'm tired of people only seeing half the story, then tell the other half, Mona said simply. On camera, Rashida stared at her reflection in the dressing room mirror, puffy eyes. Smeared makeup, a woman who had been through this story one too many times. Fans are shocked, she whispered to herself. The family is already divided. Maybe it's time the truth divides it all the way, instead of me pretending it's fine. She turned around, looking at both Jasmine and Mona. Okay, she said. I'll do it. I'll face him, on camera. No script. No, protecting his image. I'm telling it all. Jasmine inhaled sharply. You, sure? I've never been more sure. Rashida replied, but I'm not going in alone. She looked at Jasmine directly. You coming with me? Jasmine froze. This was the moment the audience later debated the most. Was Jasmine brave enough to stand next to the wife and expose the man they both had loved? Or would she fold, like she had in the past, when things got too real? After what felt like forever, Jasmine nodded. Yeah, she said. I'm coming. Mona smiled slightly, not in a smug producer way but like someone watching two people finally wake up. All right then, she said, heading for the door. I'll have them set up on stage 3. No glam, no fake lighting, no extras, just chairs, just mics, just the 3 of you. Kirk doesn't know you've seen the messages yet. Let's see what he says when he doesn't know what's coming. Rashida gripped the phone tighter. Oh, she said, her voice steady now. He's about to find out. As Mona left, the door closed behind her with a soft thud. The leaked audio captured the last thing said in that room before they walked to the stage. Jasmine whispered, "You sure you don't want to hit him first?" Rashida actually smiled through her tears. "Oh, I'm going to hit him," she said, "just not with my hands." The next part of the leak didn't happen in a hallway, or a dark dressing room, or behind a lighting rig. It happened under the bright glare of studio lights, with cameras rolling again, but this time, it wasn't VH1 controlling the story. It was them. And that's where everything changed. When Rashida and Jasmine walked onto that stage together, fans knew they weren't just exposing Kirk, they were rewriting the entire Frost storyline forever. The crew was stunned, the cast was divided, and the internet exploded with theories about what happens next. But the truth, this leak is only the beginning. If you want the raw, unfiltered ending, what Kirk said on camera, who broke down first, and which relationship didn't survive the night, then hit like, smash subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.